Now to a shocking case out of West Virginia where a couple is facing charges after some of their adopted children were found locked in a shed living in deplorable conditions. Jean Whitefeather and Donald Lance are accused of adopting 5 kids from a shelter, targeting them for forced labor specifically because of their race. The sheriff's office says they found some of the children in October locked inside a barn during a welfare check at the couple's home. The 2 children told authorities they had been inside the small room for about 12 hours when they were found. Neighbors reported that the children were also forced to perform farm labor and were not allowed inside the home. Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rhodes joins us now. Khalif, this is just a horrible case of neglect. This is just a horrible case of neglect.
So as far as the Caucasian couple that was caught enslaving their 5 black foster children, as far as the Caucasian couple that was caught enslaving their 5 black foster children, we can't complain because we won't adopt our own children. We won't adopt our children, and we don't want to foster parent no black children. What they did was horrendous and wrong. They should get the death penalty. They should get the death penalty, but black people can't complain. They would have never got those children if we would have taken those children. They would have never got those children if we would have taken those children. We don't like to foster and adopt black children. We don't like to foster and adopt black children. Why do you think all the celebrities went to Haiti during the Haiti earthquake getting those black kids? They go to Ethiopia getting those black kids. They go to South America getting those black kids. You know why? Because there's a thin line between being a child and being a slave. There's a thin line between being a child and being a slave. And the reason they like to adopt international black children instead of American black children is those children don't know their rights. Those children never going to say, take me back home. Those children are never going to say, take me back home. Those children are never going to call the police. Those children don't know how to dial 911. Those children don't know their rights. So they want Haitian black kids. They want Ethiopian black kids. They want Congolese black kids. They want Brazilian black kids because they don't know their rights. And they never going to ask to go home. They're never going to ask to go home. Ethiopia doesn't have the infrastructure to track down her foster children. Congo doesn't have the infrastructure to track down her foster children. Brazil isn't going to search out its black foster children. That's why they love getting African children from other countries and continents, because there's no oversight, there's no supervision, there's no investigation. We not donating melanin, we only snatching melanin. We not donating melanin, we only snatching melanin. Brothers and sisters, spiritually speaking, the reason why many of you are stuck spiritually, not at peace spiritually, the reason why many of you do not feel your best spiritually is for a variety of reasons. One of the first reasons that a lot of African people are out of touch with themselves spiritually is we have allowed the world religions to distract us from trying to have a direct relationship with the Almighty by having us focus on dogma and belief. Belief and dogma have nothing to do with building a relationship with supreme consciousness. I'm going to say it again. Belief and dogma have nothing to do with building a relationship with the divine. Focusing on beliefs and dogma has nothing to do with spirit. Belief and dogma are all about loyalty to the institution. Belief and dogma are all about loyalty to the brand. Belief and dogma is all about showing identity with your spiritual gang-banging club. God doesn't care about belief and dogma. Belief and dogma are irrelevant to the spiritual journey. Religion distracts you from your spiritual journey by constantly tying you down with belief and dogma. When you leave this planet, you will not be interrogated in the next life by what you believed religiously. It is irrelevant. It only matters on earth. It does not matter in heaven. God would never make you accountable for something you cannot prove to be true. The divine would never make you accountable for something that you cannot prove to be true. Give up the dogma, give up the doctrine, and begin your journey back home to your Creator. Comparing yourself to other people is another big problem. Comparing yourself to other people is another big problem. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Don't compare yourself to your brothers, your sisters, your neighbors, your friends, your sorors, your frats, your colleagues. Do not compare yourself. Your journey is uniquely yours. What you are going through is a part of your karmic path, your divine destiny. It has nothing to do with Jay-Z being a billionaire. It has nothing to do with Oprah being a billionaire. It has nothing to do with Bronny James being drafted. Don't compare yourself to other people. Your destiny that you chose in heaven at the feet of the Almighty is uniquely yours. This is why we have to be cautious about tearing people away from doing things that we don't believe are in their best interests. Because the very thing that you are trying to tear somebody away from because you don't believe is in their best interests may be in their best interest spiritually. You say, don't join that church. It is full of exploitators. But she might need to join that church to get exploited, because if she doesn't get exploited, she will suffer a worse loss later on in life. Be careful about pulling people away from their experiences. Your son may have needed that woman to experience a very bad relationship so he can avoid a much bigger loss of love later on in life. Don't deprive people of going through necessary pain so they can learn. When your daughter is dating a boy and you know he is a player, but you know he ain't gonna hurt your baby too bad, but he definitely gonna let her down. You may have to let her experience the temporary hurt to avoid a long-term loss. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Stop judging happiness by material gain. Another big problem with black people. You're not unhappy because you have to be. You're not miserable because you have to be. You're miserable because your definition of happiness means I got to have a whole bunch of expensive junk. Change your definition of happiness and you change your life. Change your definition of happiness and you change your life. You know why a lot of people are miserable? Because they're married to somebody who provides them with a certain quality of life, even though they're miserable. Without my wife, I couldn't afford this. Without my husband, I couldn't afford this. But the husband and the wife are not what you need to advance spiritually. And if you're going to put your material needs in front of your spiritual needs, you'll never be happy.